So Nelly said his daughter has a place to stay at his place forever. Like she could leave, get down bad on her luck, come back and stay as long as she need to till she get back on her feet, go back out there. If she got to come home again, she good to come back. But his son is on the clock. You see that that hourglass? His son moved back in, he's flipping that hourglass. And by the time that sand is gone, his son got to be gone. So he said his daughter is good forever, but his son is on a time clock because he's raising a man. And as a man, you're supposed to stand on your own 10 toes, solid in the world. So he's not going to harbor him or coddle him and low key put him at a disadvantage as a man in the world. No, you got to get out there like a bird when it's time for his kids to leave the nest. And I'm tongue-tied today. And they just push him out, and it's either you fly and succeed or you hit the ground and perish and it's over with. That's the stance he's taking with his son. Like, I'm going to throw you out the nest, get out there and fly. I gave you the tools, I gave you the opportunities, but you got to figure it out as a man. Do you agree with that?
I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree only because of, I feel like these are the type of mindsets we have in our community. And I think it's like more so of a poverty set mindset. Now, I understand if he's equipped him with the tools for life and to do certain things, but we all know life be life. And to be established as I believe Nelly is, I would never put my son on no type of time when it comes to that. Now, it's a difference if he's sitting there not doing nothing and you have to get him to do certain things. But if he's still allowed to progress and he's still trying in life, I really wouldn't want to do that. Even at the same time, I look at it as in a sense, like when you have family and you allow, like when you get out your family house, I feel like it's better because you get to spend more time with your family here. And those are things that's more important. And what I mean is a sense, if you have a mansion big enough to where your family could be in, I don't think people should shy away from that as much as people would like to think. Because once you move out your family house, 9 times out of 10, you don't see as much people. You know what I'm saying? Like outside of, and this is from my own experience, when I think about, I probably won't see my mama as much unless I go see her. Or you probably don't see your sisters or your brothers as much unless you decide to go see them. And that might be once a month because they're living their lives, you living your lives. And 9 times out of 10, we won't see each other until some type of get together. And I think a lot of times this is why we have problems when it comes to building generational wealth, because we're so quick to put them out there, even regardless. Now, if you set him up and he just went broke and then he came back in a sense like that, then that's probably a different story. But to allow your daughter, just because she's your daughter, to live here forever, you're basically having favoritism for one. And now you're basically saying at the end of the day, yeah, you're a man, but you're showing your daughter she doesn't have to grow up and be a woman either. And I'm this is going to go off a little off topic, but I was thinking about this too when I seen that. Like, what's this dude name? They said the Black Millionaires thing. After careful consideration, the owner of Louis Vuitton selected his 29-year-old son to be the next CEO of their multi-billion brand, Loro Piana. Think about this the next time you want you want your kids to get it out the mud. They already set their children up for a successful life. This ain't even just success. This is success forever. A billionaire company for life. He gave them away where you ain't never got to come back. And I'm pretty sure if he wanted to, he still could come back. The much money as Nelly made in his prime, I believe his kids should have been set up for life also.
See, I agree, but then I don't to a degree. It's one of those gray area things where it's perspectives on both sides. So on one side, I agree with Nelly. As a man, you got to learn how to get out here and compete. It's a dog-eat-dog world. You do got to learn how to stand up on your own, and you do got to learn how to fall down and figure out how to pick up the pieces on your own. Because no matter how much I give you, there's still always a slight possibility you could lose it all. And if you're not equipped with the tools or know how to get it back, you're fucked. I set you up for failure. So it's like those people who were born into wealthy families, a tragedy happened, they lose it all, the stock market crashed or their company went under, then you see them go home and off their family and jump off a bridge or something crazy like that. So them be the people who never had to struggle at all. I believe it's better when you struggle first and then you reach the success, because if you lose it all, you know how to survive in the struggle already. But that's not saying you have to struggle the same way as your parents struggle, because if your parents are doing better, of course they should offer you better opportunities. So someone like Nelly, his son shouldn't have to grow up the same way he did in St. Louis. but I could even use my own life as an example. When I got out of prison, my mom kicked me out. When she found out I had got my baby mom's pregnant, she like, oh, hell nah. You grown now, and you're not about to have no kid in my house growing up in the same room you grew up in with your kid now. You got to figure it out. So at the time, I was like, I can't believe she's doing this shit. But that was the Kickstarter for me and made me get my shit together even faster, where if I know for a fact, like, I could just chill at mom's shit till I get it together, I might have not went out there and got it together as quickly as I had to do. So the world treats men differently. There ain't no excuse for a man, ain't no apologies for men, it ain't no leeway for men. You either fail or you succeed. That's it. And they don't care about the reasons, none of that. Women, it's a little different. And women are supposed to be led by a man anyway. So to kick your daughter out into a man's world is almost putting her at a disadvantage anyway. Because if you go back in the days, your daughter didn't leave the house until a man took her out of your house. So your daughter's really supposed to go from the father and then hand her over to her husband.
But he's not necessarily saying kick them out. He's saying if they didn't been out in life, already been growing up and adventuring in life and trying it out, figuring it out, then they come back.
I understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm just using that as an example because let's just say they both went out and they came back. He's looking at his daughter as, well, okay, this is a man's world anyway. So if she can't really go out there and survive on her own, I understand. Stay here until till you get a husband. Because if you look at other cultures like Asia and shit like that, they daughters stay until they get a husband. They don't even let them leave. Work, stack your bread, get your degrees, everything you need to get. But the key aspect that you're missing is a husband. So we know sending you out into a man's world without a husband as a woman is a disadvantage. And we don't want to put you at a disadvantage. As a man, it's different. If you know any grown men that still stay with their parents, 9 times out of 10, they ain't worth the fuck. They lazy, they got no work ethic, and they really ain't got no goals in life. Because even if I have the means to live with my parents, I don't want to live with my parents because I got my own family. But I do like the idea of if I got as much wealth as Nelly or any of these other celebrities of having a family compound. Like we got houses on the compound. So mom stay a couple acres that way, sister acres that, like we got a compound where we could just probably jump in a golf cart just to go visit. Because like you said, if we all scattered over the city or scattered different states, you're rarely ever going to see your family. Because if you got a family, you got a job, you got things going on, they got the same, vice versa. Y'all going to come together when? Holidays, tragedies, or family reunions. And if you got a family like mine, we don't have family reunions. we don't have none of them family get together. So the only time we really see each other is if we literally just drive over it and just go see each other. So I like the idea of the compound, but yeah, I don't think my son would be 26, 27 coming back with unlimited time to stay at the crib. I think you do have to put that fire under their ass
but
to
that's
let
what
them
I'm
know,
saying. But
get your shit together.
I agree with that, but even at the same time, like I said, most of the time it depends on if he was the father in the life, what type of tools and things you equip them to prepare him for that. So he should have already been set up to do that. Even if you had the money still should have had to be earned in certain different ways. And even other cultures, I know, not saying that everything is cool, and I'm not trying to tell nobody how to live. I just don't think it's as bad if the person is still progressing or trying to progress in life and do certain things, because of, you see a lot of other cultures where they mom and dad, the son might get a girlfriend. The girlfriend might move in. They might have a family. They might be in the back house to sort of what you said, like with the compound. They still eat family dinners together. They still do certain things, and they're all still putting money into this where they all living how they want to live. Versus a lot of people in a normal life, we kick them out as soon as they out, and the parents are still already struggling. Now the kid is struggling, and it's like, it's just a recycled effect again when they all could have been pitching in and all had enough money to still live a life how they wanted to, at least in a mix of their means, not below their means. You know what I'm saying? Where you got to worry about another meal every day. So
no, facts. I just think if you're well off, it's going to be hard for your kid to have the same hunger and drive as someone who had to get it out the mud. So when rich people say they want their kids to get it out the mud, what they really are saying, they want them to have that hunger and that drive that they had when they had nothing and then they made it to the millions. Right. If you're born with the millions it's hard to have a drive to do anything because you know no matter what, if you fail in the back of your mind, pops got me, mom's got me. It's a different type of hunger and drive and determination to succeed when you know if I fail, this shit over with. Don't nobody got me. Not only does nobody got me, they're depending on me, and I already don't have shit. I gotta make something out of nothing. So that's the fire that they're trying to light in their kids when they say shit like that. So from a parental aspect, because I got a son, I understand that. His childhood is way, I ain't gonna say better, but he has more opportunities than I ever had. I didn't even get to play Pop Warner. You know what I'm saying? As much as we love football, we watching our friends down the block leaving their pads and shit. We still got to play in the street. He get to play Pop Warner, speed coaches, and tournaments, and 7v7s, and quick strike, like all this other shit. So you have to instill that same drive and hunger. I think you got to even go harder on your kids if they're well off. So when they do go out in the world, they still have that competitive edge. Like I'm pretty sure, almost positive, that kid who's inheriting that Louis V company, since he was yay high and learned how to talk, his pops was showing him how to run that company.
But that's what
and
I mean.
Equipping him with the tools.
What I mean, they was already distilling in him the discipline, the commitment, and teaching them the value of things. That's basically what I'm getting at.
Right.
Like, you should already be instilling that. Because I like to even use LeVar Ball as an example. You know what I mean? Like he said, he had his kids with lavish things and certain things, but they knew the determination. They knew the work ethic. They knew everything, the real life tools that they needed. So now when they're off by themselves, they still are handling business how they supposed to, regardless that they didn't grow up poverty or they didn't grow up poor. That he worked them niggas, like you said, to the point where it's instilled in them. It's damn near second nature now for them as far as they work ethic and the things they have to do in life.
No, that's facts.
So like you said, it's a two-edged sword to an extent. I just look at it as, like you say, thinking about from our perspective, we don't see family unless, like I said, you pull up or you go do that. You won't do that. Damn near probably won't talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at it in that aspect, and the only thing that matters is the experiences that you get out of life at the end of the day. A lot of this other stuff that we think matters when it comes to this materials and stuff like that, only thing you're going to have is to remember the memories with your family. That's the only thing that's going to count. So, and me knowing that, like, that's the main thing I used to think about when I used to sit in the cell in prison. That's the only thing, memories I had was the time I spent. Nothing else mattered. Like, nothing. So
that's facts. The only thing you thought about was times with the homies or times with the fam. You didn't think about, man, well, you did probably think about when I bought these shoes, but it was the things you did to get the money to buy them and who I was with when I was buying them and where we went to wear them at, or I pulled this bitch in this fitted on with this fitted on, or shit like that. The actual material item itself didn't matter. The memory attached to the material item is what mattered. So I'm in agreement with that, man. But it's a double-edged sword. It's trial and error. Every kid is low-key different as well. But we got to be completely 100% honest. The world is different for women than it is for men.
That's
it's
facts.
unforgiving for a man. It's unforgiving.
Now,
if you're a woman, I don't care if you ugly. I don't care what you look like. There's a man horny enough out here to take care of you. Like, if you're really down bad on your luck, a woman can literally just sell herself. A man can't just sell himself because women ain't buying men like that. Most of the men that's selling themselves is selling themselves to other men. This is why it's an old saying about a pimp. If a pimp get down on his luck bad enough, he'll sell everything, even his own ass. Because that's about all he can do. If he ain't got no more hoes to send, what he gonna do? He gonna send himself.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
Like go look up any type of documentaries or any type of biopics or interviews with male escorts. They gonna tell you their highest clientele be other men. So it's different for a man, bro. A woman in this day and age can literally, there's no reason a woman should be broke. What Sugar Free say? Long as you got some pussy and some ass in a deep throat.
Nah, that's facts.
That's facts. Suck a nigga dick right, he's moving you in damn near the same day. The way these niggas tricking, you ain't even got to suck a nigga dick. Put your Cash App. Oh, you beautiful. Niggas send $300. These niggas OnlyFans, these niggas sending thousands, never even met the bitch.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you do gotta instill these tools in your son to get out here and survive, because it's a whole different world, and it's dog eat dog, and it's relentless. Relentless. Like, y'all don't understand how hard the world is for men.
Nah, nobody give a fuck.
Nobody give a fuck. Your family don't even give a fuck.
Nigga, nobody.
Bro,
nigga, they gonna tell you to deal with it.
Suck it up. You don't cry, nothing. Nigga, there was a woman who made a transition to a man, and life was so hard, she offed herself.
Offed herself.
We did a whole
about
segment on
yeah.
that. Go look that story up. She offed herself. Nobody talked to her. The only time she ever left the house and had a conversation was when she initiated it. Because 9 times out of 10, people don't initiate conversations with men.
Unless you us, but
Right.
yeah, but at the same time, they thought she didn't even exist in her mind no more. She ended her existence. That's how crazy it was for her. She could have just went back to being a female, but she chose to offer herself. It was that bad.
It's brutal. So yeah, man. The only thing I don't agree with the celebrities who have bread and then they say, I'm not giving my kids none. That's crazy. Because now you setting their ass up for failure. What is the point of earning everything, having everything, access to everything, connections, if you don't utilize them?
But their point is to what you just said. Put that fire in them. Come from poverty and come back to this. Like, no.
See, that's not the fire.
Yeah, that's what they putting them right in the fire.
That's
start
that's
like
the
I did. Do what I did.
Right.
Even though you probably was a fucking 1%er. And you was a 1%er. Now you got to expect your son to be that way. That's the whole point of having it, to branch it off so they don't have to go through the same struggles as you.
Like these niggas mad at LeBron. Imagine LeBron not utilizing his connects to get his son in the NBA. Nah, get it out the mud like I did. And just sending him to fucking Akron and, come up in the projects, come up dirt poor, roaches on your back, and I'm a billionaire. Come on, that's crazy and downright stupid. Even
with the sacrifice and the stuff he came from, I understand the crying stuff, why they be on this bumper, but to hate that man as a man, like they hate him just his life in general. To know what he came from and went through and growing up with a single parent and all that type of stuff, growing up in the trenches of Ohio and made it out to where he's at now, they couldn't wait to put some scars on his back.
Right, and that ties into our next topic.